Over the course of 2017, I think US yields could move gradually higher, but I think we could move a little bit lower in the near term. I think there's probably more exciting opportunities outside of the US at the moment, because in that sort of Trump reflation trade, a lot of other global yields got dragged higher for no real reason apart from US Treasury yields moving higher. So with the ECB extending QE, the Bank of Japan doing their bond buying, slow growth in lots of other parts of the world, bonds there are a little bit more attractive than the US is to us at this stage.
I'm glad you mentioned kind of the carry-on effect, if you will, people following the moves in treasuries in tandem. And then there was the confusion, if you will, about what ECB President Mario Draghi did last week. Was it tapering? Was it not tapering? The ECB will say it wasn't. I had a guest on just yesterday saying they could in fact do real tapering as early as the second quarter. Do you think that's a possibility?
I think that's a little bit too early, but I think that's definitely something on the cards for the second half of 2017. I think Draghi actually did a very good job of explicitly stating it's not tapering. We always thought that the risk was they would reduce the monthly purchases, but the fact that they're in the market for a long time, which is a point he kept reinforcing, should be a very constructive backdrop for risk assets in Europe to continue to perform.
And when we talk about risk in Europe, of course, you can't ignore the election risks going into next year, particularly when you think of the French election. How should investors be positioning around that?
Well, I think avoiding French government bonds is probably the easiest trade to do. So you've had the Italian referendum, and Italian 10-year spreads got to sort of 200 over. They've now tightened a bit after the referendum, but French spreads are sort of somewhere in the region of 30 basis points. And if the market starts to get nervous about Le Pen getting in, you could easily see spreads on France getting to where Italian spreads were pre the referendum.